Hey guys, I have a 2019 Ram, and it came with, it's a four-wheel drive, but it did not come with tow hooks right here on the front where they would be, I guess, if you get like the off-road protection group with the skid plates and all that. I guess that you would get the tow hooks with that package. My particular truck did not come with it, even though it's four-wheel drive. So what I decided to do was get the tow hooks aftermarket through Mopar, and you also have to get the bezels as well, or you can cut out your original bezels, but it just doesn't look as clean, and for the price it makes sense just to buy new ones. So here's what I got right here. I got the hooks on eBay. Actually, I got both of them on eBay, but I got them from separate vendors. These I ended up getting for 150 bucks shipped from I can't remember the dealership, but it was somewhere up in Michigan. And then I ended up getting these for $13 shipped for those. So I hadn't really seen any videos installing these, so I wanted to kind of go through a step-by-step on installing it, and maybe the easiest way to do so. But so far with the hooks, it just comes with these two bolts right here, and these are 21 millimeter, and on the instructions it says to crank them down to 115 Newton meters. So I'm gonna have to torque those down. And then there's another bolt that that's already mounted up on there that I'm supposed to loosen up, I guess, to slide this particular point into. So let me get all geared up to get underneath the truck, and I will show you what. Okay, so I just pulled out the stock bezel out of one side, and I couldn't film in there because there was no room, but basically it's just a 8 millimeter nut and screws, so it goes in like this. You have to go in from the obviously the back side, and then just do a couple turns on it. It loosens it up, and then once you pull that off, you can slide these out right here, and then you just push the bezel out through the front of the bumper. Push it forward from the top, and then these right here, these little pieces, these pins here, they actually go down into a hole, and as you push it out, it pulls it out, and you can pull the whole bezel out. So that's how you get the stock bezels out right now. So this is what it looks like with the stock bezel out. There's the holes for those pins on the stock bezel. I'll probably actually clean this up around here because I try to keep this thing pretty clean. We just got back from a camping trip, so the truck's filthy. But you also keep in mind that you got to deal with, if you can see in there, the adjustable air dam that goes down for fuel efficiency. You got to try to put your arm in through there, like so, to get to these bolts. Where you're going to connect the tow hooks is up in there. So let me get this one figured out and see what it's going to take to get it in, and I'll get back with you. Okay, so I did the other side, and I took a break so I could well, first of all, cool down. It's been well over 100 degrees over here in Texas. So I'm going to do the other side, and I'm going to walk you guys through it on this one. So the first thing you need to do is loosen up these 8 millimeter screws. All you need to do is loosen them up and then slide it up and over so they can go through that hole, and then you can peel back this this panel here. So I got them loose. Got them loose here. I'm just going to lift up and pull it back out like that. And you can just rest it right here on the tire like that. It's not going to hurt anything. Then you can get up in here and see where you need to. And you have, like I said before, you have this this air dam that comes down. After you go a certain mile per hour, it drops down, but when the truck's off and you're not moving, it stays up, so we gotta work around that. On the top up there, you got the two 8mm bolts and screws that need to be loosened up and taken out so you can get that bezel out. And that one's always already loose. You can just pull it out. The whole deal will come out like that. So, and then just loosen the other side. And I'm just using a little 8mm wrench. Not able to really fit a socket in there, and you just need to turn it a little bit, and you can do the rest by hand. Yeah, and just pull that out as well, and then you can just push, so like pull down, squeeze the bezel together, and then push it out like that, and then it pops out. And then we got the opening here. So one thing I do recommend before you do anything is put the other bezel back inside, because you're not going to really be able to get to the screws that you need to tighten on the top up here once you have the tow hook in there. Alright, the other one right here, and we will just fit those pins down in to the holes like that, and then just push it in there for now. Alright, so the next thing that needs to be done is taking that bolt out right there. That's the 18mm, and we're gonna have to do a little trick on this one to get it completely out, because there's a clip that holds it all the way in. I'm gonna break that one loose right now, and I'll show you what I gotta do to take it out. Alright, so this bolt, I got it loosened up, but when you loosen it up, it doesn't want to come out at all. No matter how hard you pull on it, it doesn't want to come out. So what you got to do is put a adjustable crescent wrench on there. It's hard to do with this camera. Put the crescent wrench on there. Then you take a hammer or a rubber mallet or whatever. Super hard to do with this. There we go. Alright. Alright, so that's out. Yeah, there's a little clip right here, and you can just pull it the rest of the way off. You won't need that again. Alright. Grab the tow hook here. The bezel's already in and mounted up. We're just going to, I leave the plastic on there, that way we don't scratch up the chrome on it. And actually need to flip it over here. So this piece goes where we just took out the bolt. Right there, that's where that'll mount. Run the bolt back up through. We have to move this air dam out of the way a little bit. And you can start threading that one on. Just loosely. And then grab the bolt that's provided in the kit with this, with the tow hooks, and start threading that on up here as well. And this one's a 21 millimeter. And you can put your hand on the other side in the front of the truck. That way you can lift up, take the weight off of the hook. That way you can start threading it on by hand. And I have two wrenches. I have a ratchet wrench, just a half 3/8 drive, and just so I can get this snug up here, and then I will tighten it down with a torque wrench. This 18 millimeter bolt is see, it's converted down to a 85 foot-pounds, and the big bolt, the 21 millimeter right here, is 135 foot-pounds. That's what it needs to be torqued down to. Definitely want to tighten this one first before tightening the other one, because this will actually get it in the right spot, but you want to have this bolt in here as well, that way it guides it, but you don't want to tighten it up because it might move it back too far, because it's a slide. Alright, I'm going to swap out my sockets here. Put my 21 on, wherever it is. There we go. Alright. Alright, so that's out. Yeah, there's a little clip right here, and you can just pull it the rest of the way off. You won't need that again. Alright. Grab the tow hook here. The bezel's already in and mounted up. We're just going to, I leave the plastic on there, that way we don't scratch up the chrome on it. And actually need to flip it over here. So this piece goes where we just took out the bolt. Right there, that's where that'll mount. Run the bolt back up through. We have to move this air dam out of the way a little bit. And you You can start threading that one on. Just loosely. And then grab the bolt that's provided in the kit with this, with the tow hooks, and start threading that on up here as well. And this one's a 21 millimeter. And you can put your hand on the other side in the front of the truck. That way you can lift up, take the weight off of the hook. That way you can start threading it on by hand. And I have two wrenches. I have a ratchet wrench, just a half 3/8 drive, and just so I can get this snug up here, and then I will tighten it down with a torque wrench. This 18 millimeter bolt is see, it's converted down to a 85 foot-pounds, and the big bolt, the 21 millimeter right here, is 135 foot-pounds. That's what it needs to be torqued down to. Definitely want to tighten this one first before tightening the other one, because this will actually get it in the right spot, but you want to have this bolt in here as well, that way it guides it, but you don't want to tighten it up because it might move it back too far, because it's a slide. Alright, I'm going to swap out my sockets here. Put my 21 on, wherever it is. it's mounted up in there. Last thing you want to do is just push this panel back like that, and put that in there, and then just tighten those guys down. Alright, got it all installed on both sides here, and overall I'd say it wasn't too bad. I would have got it done pretty quick if I knew what to do with that bolt underneath. Just having that little clip on there, I didn't know if I maybe had something hung up, maybe a bolt was on top. I'm sorry, a nut was on top. I didn't know if it was like a lock nut or something like that. But anyway, once I figured that out, I was able to get this side done pretty quick. But yeah, and the reason I have the hood open is just for the sole purpose of having more light underneath so I can see what I'm doing. But anyway, yeah, I wouldn't normally be concerned about having tow hooks on this truck because I don't go off-road with it. I usually like to keep it pretty clean, and I don't do anything off-road, but we do plan on taking our small camper up into the mountains this fall, and if in case it gets any snow or gets pretty muddy, I want to have an option to get pulled out if anything happens. So having a $165 worth of insurance with these tow hooks is a good idea. But yeah, as far as the between chrome and black, I have seen black. Actually, I saw them on a truck that I almost bought, but I noticed they were already starting to fade and look kind of nasty even on a brand new truck. So I thought the chrome would go well with it. Unless you're doing a full blackout deal, then I'd get the chrome. Actually, I found these to be a little cheaper on eBay than the black ones for whatever reason. But the local dealer here in town where I'm at in Texas, in Central Texas, they wanted, I think, $190 for the hooks and, like, I don't know, maybe 20 some bucks for the bezels, and I ended up getting, so what's that? We're looking at about $220 through the dealer, and I ended up getting this all for $165. So I definitely saved, a lot of money, 60 bucks. But anyway, hope this helps you with your install if you guys decide to do this. Thanks.